Good afternoon. My name is Eli. Can you please tell me your full name?
Okay. My name is Khalid Muhammad Noor Abdullah.
Okay. And what should I call you?
Yeah, just call me Abu Yat.
Abriyat. Okay. Abriyat, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about your work. What are your responsibilities at work?
Okay, so my responsibility in my work, the main responsibility is care of patients, care like bathing and feed them and give them medication. Sometimes DLA assessment, especially my work at psychiatric hospital. I need to I need to assess patient psychology or psychiatric every 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. And has your work changed since you started this work?
No, before I came to Saudi Arabia, I was nurse and ICU nurse, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came to Saudi Arabia, I work at.
And do you have an ideal job for the future?
For the future, really, I hope to develop myself at psychiatric nurse.
Why?
Because it is more interesting for me, and we don't need to practice, or we need efforts I think like it is easy for me.
Let's move on. Let's talk about reading. What kind of books do you enjoy reading?
Really, reading, I enjoy by storybooks, like bookworms. You know about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I read storybooks before I need to develop my English language. Sometimes I read electronic books, but I prefer to paper books more than electronic books.
Did you enjoy reading when you were younger?
Yeah, especially when I read a story, I have like passion or excitement. I want to know what happens after that. After like if I read topic or I can say like what when finish if books like a series of books I read books one. After that I'm more excited to read books two. I need to know what's happened in the another books.
Mm-hmm. Which do you prefer, reading a book or watching the film?
To be honest, I prefer watching movies because help me to listen or to listen. Help me and listening. After, especially accent, and I can find some like idioms and new vocabulary. How to say this vocabulary? I think it is more beneficial for me more than books.
Mm. Let's talk about going on holiday. Do you enjoy going on holiday?
Of course, yes. Especially when I work at Saudi Arabia, I take TLE university. uh, uh, daily vacation. I go to Sudan. I spent about months with my family and with my friends. Really, I waited. I can like uh, I wait this vacation like pins and needles. When they come time of vacation, really I'm so excited because I meet my friends and my family.
Mhm. And what can be difficult about going on holiday?
I can
Mhm.
I don't get it. Can repeat the question?
Mhm. What can be difficult about going on holiday?
Difficult. Okay. Sometimes I have planned to spend vacation with my family, like past year. Coronavirus, it is like my hospital or my jobs can stop me to take vacation because coronavirus and there is no vacation.
Mhm. Okay, now in this next part, I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay, so here is your topic. I'm sharing it on the screen. Can you see that?
Okay, I see it.
Okay, so I'd like you to describe an outdoor sport you would like to try for the first time. Your 1 minute preparation starts now. All right, remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay. Uh, I'd like to talk about basketball. I think it is my favorite sport. Uh, Really, I started this sport when I was secondary school because I am taller. I have classmate called Ahmed. He was keen by this sport. Really encouraged me to play basketball. It is more appropriate or more convenient to me. The first time I tried to do this sport, really I feel like hard to do something like that. Means really more concentrated or need more skills. I need practice. Uh, Also, explain to me, you should be patient to take with this sport. After that, when I get to university, I was participating team in the university team basketball. But when after I graduate, postgraduate, according to my jobs and responsibility about my family, after that, I stopped this sport. Uh, but sometimes when I came to Saudi Arabia, I do some jogging and walking every morning.
Okay,
Really, I love it.
thank you. So now we're going to move on to part three. And in part three, I'm going to ask you 1 or 2 more general questions related to this topic. Okay? So, first of all, let's talk about sports. What kind of sports are popular in your country?
definitely my popular sport in my country, football, because I think most of them Sudanese love and encourage footballs. You know, it is more popular. Also, the second one, I think basketball in Sudan.
Right. Why is football and basketball so popular in Sudan?
Uh, Basketball, I think most of them Sudanese it is taller. Because of that, they refer to basketball.
Mhm.
Also, I think it is easy not to need to do more of it if you're something like that.
Hmm. Do you think that children should have sports lessons at school?
Yes, of course. Because when I was primary school, I have a lecture about sport like football, tennis, like basketball. Uh, I think I have a course in my primary school. Learn us about sport or teach us about sport.
Mhm. And some people think that we should not show dangerous sports on television. For example, skydiving or bungee jumping or rock climbing. What do you think?
I didn't get to understand. Can you repeat this question?
So some people say we should not show
Yeah,
dangerous sports on television. What do you think?
I think it depends in the person. I think I agree with you. Sometimes some sport is more dangerous, like wrestling, boxing, diving. I think more dangerous because if someone does not practice all those will, I think will die or will hurt himself. But I prefer or I to encourage people to practice or to training about this uh, sport. But I warn or I advise some parents to keep their children away during watching this sport because children, I, I think they have curiosity to uh, try anything they see.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's talk about leisure time. Do you think that old
Yeah.
people and young people do the same activities in their leisure time?
So I think it is the good question. Yeah. Uh, in this time, I think younger time or older people prefer to watching TV or sometimes walking or jogging uh, in their leisure time. But as younger people, I prefer like hang out with my friend or do some exercise. Do something like walking and jogging. Sometimes I prefer hang out with my family.
Do you think that young people enjoy being sociable more than old people?
The young people,
Mhm. Do you think that young people enjoy being sociable more than old people?
to be honest, I think young people more enjoyable by sociable because in this time because I have internet, we can join with my friend about Zoom or Facebook or Twitter, something like that. But older people, I think, they prefer to spend their time with their sons or daughters or their colleague or classmate. I think they prefer that.
Hmm. Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So how did you find it?
Okay.
How
Really, I think uh, it is so easy, but I have a little nervous and I have a little vocabulary. I think I didn't will. I didn't work well, but I need your advice to me. What must do to prepare myself well for IELTS exam?
Yeah.
Also, this is the first time I talk with native speaker like you.
Right. Okay. First time in your life. The first time in your life talking with a native English speaker.
Yeah, this is the first time.
Right. Okay. So, for this particular test, you'd be getting around band 5.5. And what we're going to do is look at some ways that you can improve on your score. And then afterwards, I'll send you a copy of this video. One of the things that immediately strikes me is sometimes there's hesitation as you think about the next thing to say. So instead of talking fluently, you tend to speak a little bit and then go and then speak a little bit and then go and then speak a little bit and then try and then hesitate again before you in order to think of a word. And that's going to lower your score for fluency and coherence. So that's something that I think you should practice. And there are two ways basically to get better at that. The first one is to speak in English regularly. So, for example, to a language partner or to a teacher. And then if you don't have that option, the second way is to record yourself, for example, answering part 2 questions and then listening to the amount of time that you spend hesitating and then try to reduce that. Okay. Your vocabulary is good and you're able to convey a lot of your ideas, but sometimes you hesitate to remember or to recall that vocabulary. So even though I think your vocabulary is a high level, sometimes it takes you a long time to find those words.
Okay.
But you also have lots of very nice vocabulary for describing your work. So, for example, things like assist patients, psychiatric nurse. You described yourself as a bookworm, for example. You talked about how you like to read a series of books as well. And then I also liked some of this some of the ways that you answered the questions, like, of course I do. Or you said, of course, yes, but it would be, of course I do, and then you expand. And then little phrases as well, like, to be honest, I prefer watching movies. So that's some very nice language. To be honest, I prefer watching movies. So very nice. Now, in part 2, another reason you get a lower score is the question was asking you about a sport that you would like to try. And you spoke about your favorite sport, which is basketball. So if it's a sport you would like to try, then it can't be your favorite sport. So in part 2, if you see a sport you would like to try or a place you would like to visit, then you have to talk about a hypothetical sport or a hypothetical place. For example, I would love to try skydiving. I've never been skydiving, but I would love to try it. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So be careful with that in part 2, because it appears very often. A person you would like to meet, a place you would like to go. When you see this would like to, it's talking about a hypothetical situation. So be careful with that.
Okay.
Okay. Also, a few little mistakes with grammar, and particularly with prepositions. So you said that your friend is keen by basketball. So if you say keen, you say keen on basketball, not keen by basketball. You also said convenient by me, but it would be convenient for me. So just small little mistakes in prepositions can lower your score. Also, you said things like, I was participate in university team. So when we're talking about the past, we'd probably just say, I participated in the university team. So we just change the main verb into the past simple. I participated in the university team.
Okay.
And then also in part 3, there were little mistakes, like you referred to football as footballs. So you added an S, but it's just football as in the sport. We don't have an S at the end.
Okay.
You also made a small mistake between learn and teach, although you did correct yourself, so that was good.
Because because I have some difficulty, because when I talk about English or something like that, I am Arabic native language. I am Arabic because idea comes by Arabic. After that, I need to translate by English. This is big problems for me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I think will improve the more time that you have speaking English to a language partner or to a teacher or in your job.
Okay.
And then sometimes as well in part 3, when I ask you some questions, especially in part 3, you're not really meant to talk about yourself too much. So if I asked you about, what was the question? Between the difference that young people and old people spend their leisure time, and you talked a bit about how you spend your leisure time. But in part 3, I'm not interested in your experiences, but more in your opinions. So in part 3, I would expect you to say something like, old people spend their leisure time by doing da 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 da. Young people spend their leisure time by doing da da da. And you don't talk about what you do in your leisure time. So remember that in part 3, you talk about your opinions and your ideas, but not your experiences.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll send you a copy of this video. And if you have any questions, you can always send me a message on English Pro Tips. Okay?
Okay, no problem. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye then.
Have a nice day.